What's up, Spice Droppers? It's Charlie from Ferndale. We're getting into the holiday season, so I figured we'd talk some turkey. What I'm gonna do today is show you how and why to spatchcock that turkey. And I'll tell you what that means in a second. Okay, so basically what spatchcocking is when you turn the bird over, you cut the backbone out, and then you can lay the bird flat on your baking sheet. The reason we do this is to basically cut cooking time in half. Something else people do is they put stuffing in there, right? The problem with that is that stuffing needs to get to 165 degrees because now it is soaked with turkey juices. So for that stuffing to get to 165 degrees, all of a sudden this outer meat is at like 185 degrees, 190 degrees. So I already got my gizzards and my neck in a bag for the gravy. We're gonna save that. We're gonna get to spatchcocking, baby, let's go. Okay, so first we got a little prep before we spatchcock. The turkey legs will usually come tied or with this little plastic contraption here to hold it all together at the end. And we just wanna pull that out. Make sure that those legs are free to move around. And then we wanna take out this plastic pop thermometer thing that's in there because we don't need that. We're gonna be using a meat thermometer. And now we gotta take off the Pope's nose, as this is called, which is just the tail of the turkey. So we're just gonna cut that off. And we're just gonna throw that in with the giblets so you can use it for a stock or a gravy if you so choose. Now we're gonna turn the turkey around and just cut off this excess skin around the neck. And now you can see the top of the backbone sticking out. We're gonna cut down on each side of this backbone from the top to the bottom of the bird. It does take a little strength because you are cutting through some rib bones. And you can use the backbone itself as a guide. And once you get a good couple snips in, you can easily get down the rest of that backbone. So again, just cut down all the way, front to back to front, however you wanna do it. And again, we're doing this on both sides of that backbone. So I just about have it now. Couple more snips and we'll be good to go. And of course, you can use this backbone for stock or gravy as well. All right, now that the backbone's out, we're gonna turn the bird over, breast side up. And the first thing we're gonna do now is take out the wishbone. And then we can push the bird down as flat as possible. And we're gonna use the palm of our hand to push into that breastbone, and we need that to break. You'll hear a little pop when it does, and you'll be able to see the bird go almost completely flat. So this here is the bottom side while we're gonna be cooking, and I'm just gonna arrange the bird, untuck those legs so that I can get all the skin exposed. And then I'm just gonna put a healthy amount of salt on here because we're gonna dry brine this overnight. Make sure to get the wings, make sure to get the armpits, make sure to get the back of the knee, maybe, I guess that would be. And then once everything's ready on that side, we can flip it over and we're gonna do the same thing on the top of the bird. Just again, a healthy amount of salt everywhere. This is really gonna help the skin crisp up when we're cooking it. And again, we're gonna dry brine this in the fridge overnight. I just put it back on the baking sheet and then I can just put that in my fridge as is. Okay, so once it's been dry brined for about 8 to 12 hours, we're gonna go ahead and rough chop a mirepoix here, and this is gonna go underneath the bird right onto the baking sheet. But we're just gonna rough chop a couple carrots here. We're gonna do a full onion, all those onion skins included, and then a few stalks of celery, again with the leaves on there. I also cut 4 or 5 cloves of garlic in half and threw them in there. Once again, if you're gonna make a stock later, all these veggies will add tremendous flavor to that. And you wouldn't need to worry about the onion skins or celery leaves because if you make a soup stock, you'll be straining that stuff out later anyway. So again, just lay those as flat as we can in the baking sheet so that when we put the wire rack with the turkey on it, it will lay flat while it's in the oven. Okay, now we're on to the turkey. I made some garlic herb butter here. I have another short video that shows how to do that, but it's basically garlic, a bunch of herbs, and obviously butter. And we're gonna take the skin here from the turkey and kind of separate it from the muscles, which takes a little bit at first, but once you're able to get a couple fingers under it, it's very easy to just separate. You'll have plenty of room under the skin to throw that garlic herb butter in. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of this butter at a time and kind of rub it under the skin, trying to get it everywhere over the entire breast. You can get it onto the thighs. You'll be able to get some under the leg skin. And just trust me, this makes this bird so tender, so flavorful. There's a ton of garlic and herbs in there. and it's just wonderful. So now I'm gonna bring my baking sheet with the mirepoix over. We're gonna put the wire rack over that and then just put our bird right on top of that. I do wanna make sure to flip the legs so that it is completely top side up and bottom side down, just to ensure that it cooks evenly. What we're gonna do is put this in the oven at 450 degrees for about 20 to 30 minutes, and then we're gonna lower that temperature to 400 degrees and cook for the rest of the time until the bird's about 155 degrees or 160 degrees in the thickest spots of that breast. My total cooking time was right around an hour, and this is what comes out. And it looks and smells delicious. We're gonna let that sit for about 20 minutes before we start carving it up. So now as far as carving, first thing I'm gonna do is cut off the wings. I'm not gonna serve these because there's really not much meat on them. And then we're gonna go ahead and like and subscribe if you're enjoying this video. And then we can cut the turkey legs away from the rest of the bird. You can obviously cut the meat off those and serve those as dark meat if you want, but I like to just have the turkey legs there as an option. Next, I'm gonna cut the thighs away from the rest of the bird, and I'm gonna kind of shred the meat off of these. You can see all the herbs and stuff falling out from the butter, and trust me when I say that just packed this bird with flavor. Now for the white meat, we're gonna cut underneath the meat along the breastbone and the ribs, and you can just see how juicy this meat is coming off the bird. Cut the breast into strips for serving, then we'll get the other side done. And then we can serve it up on a platter like this. I have a nice pile of juicy white meat, the turkey legs in the middle, and then the shredded dark meat over here. And since it's already been resting for 20 minutes, this is ready to eat right now. Let's go. The holiday season is upon us. Boom, maybe we did it again. Peace and love, Spatchcock.